Hi everyone, it's Mindy and welcome back. Today I'm sharing a card that's all about adding texture and dimension with a few simple techniques. I'm going to be combining ink blending, die cut flowers, an embossed background, and some stacked arch frames to create a card with lots of depth without making it overcomplicated. Now that sounds like a lot, but I promise you once it all comes together, you'll see how easy this is to do. If you're interested in any of the supplies I'm using today, they will be linked down below in the video description. The main supplies that I'm going to be using today is the Opulent Thanks die, Tissue Petal Stems Wafer die, A2 Stitched Arches, and the Woven Rings 3D Embossing Folder. Now, these are all brand new from Simon Says Stamp, but you can also dig through your stash and see if you have something similar. The first thing I'm going to do is ink blend my background. So I have a piece of Hammermill cardstock that is cut to 4¼ by 5½. And on one end, I'm going to start by ink blending butter ink, which is a really pale light yellow. It is from Trio 27 from the Positively Saturated Ink line from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to go about halfway down. And then on the other side, I'm going to bring in Tide Pool, which is from Trio 13. Now, I'll be honest, at first, I didn't think this color combination was going to work. I did kind of start to second guess myself. I worked my way up about halfway, kind of meeting the yellow, slightly overlapping it. And then I came in with a little bit of Tropic, which is the second color in this trio. And that I will do about halfway up. So always let your inks kind of dry a little bit before you really make a final decision. I'm also going to be using this 3D embossing folder called Woven Rings. And whenever you use an ink blended background with an embossing folder, it just does something to it. It obviously it embosses it, but it helps kind of smooth out the background and kind of, if I want to say, remove any imperfections, but it hides them. The other thing I'm going to do is take a white pigment ink pad and just drag that over the top of the raised areas. And I'm also going to splatter on some of this white splatter from Simon Says Stamp. So that all kind of seems like a lot, but really in the end, it just are little touches that you can do to your backgrounds. The other thing that I like to do when I'm creating frames is I like to stack my frames. So this is using the A2 stitched arches. I love a good arch die, especially when they have stitching to them. So right now I am picking out two sizes. The largest size I'm going to die cut from an A2 size piece of white cardstock. When I'm picking out the largest die, I want to make sure I'm leaving myself enough room to add foam tape so I can pop it up. So I placed that die cut window over the top of another piece of white cardstock, layered in the next one, which is a little bit smaller, made sure the margins were even all the way around the edge, and then ran that through the die cut machine. So I have two windows here. You can definitely stop at one, but there's just something about a stacked window when it has that layers that just does something to a card. Now I'm going to work on the ink blending for my die cuts. I am using the tissue petal stems. There are 3 different flower types and each flower has 2 layers to it. So I had gone through and die cut that out of white cardstock. You can absolutely do this from a colored cardstock if you want to make this go a little quicker, but I personally love to add the dimension and color myself by ink blending. So for each of the petals, I'm starting out with a bubblegum ink. Now these colors are all going to be from Trio 6. I'm using a small blending brush to apply the color to each of those petals. So some of the parts of this I am speeding up because I am using the same process for each of the petals. Now I'm coming back through, starting on the largest petal, which is going to be in the back, and I'm coming in with Sweets. Now that one I'm going to ink blend maybe about halfway up or 3/4 of the way up. Because keep in mind that largest flower piece is going to be in the back, so you need to really bring that dark color up so we can see it. I'm going to step this up a little bit more by bringing in taffy. Now, with taffy, this can totally take over your flower if you're not careful. So I brought in a smaller blending brush and I'm trying to keep that focused more at the very bottom of each of these flowers. Now, the back one, again, you may have to kind of line your flowers up here and there to make sure that you can see that dark color in the background. But having that small blending brush really does help control that color before it overpowers your flower. After each of the petals are done, I'm going to work on the stems. For those, I'm using Sprout ink, which I believe is out of Trio 8, just kind of giving that a quick wash of color. I'm working on a media mat, which is kind of like a silicone mat. It's a nice, slick surface, but yet grips my die cuts enough where they're not sliding all over the place. For each of the flowers, I am adding some thin foam squares behind the first layer or the top layer of each of the flowers. These thin foam squares I'm absolutely in love with from Simon Says Stamp because they're just enough of a thickness to pop things up, but not so much dimension that it gets really stacked up. This card is going to have quite a bit of dimension to it, so it is something that I would probably either hand deliver or put in a padded mailer, but this would definitely go to somebody special. So each of those flowers are getting stacked with those thin foam squares. And now for the sentiment, I did do a little bit of this work off screen to save some time. I'm using the Opulent Thanks. It's a beautiful scripty font and it's nice and large. So it's going to kind of fit at the bottom of my card perfectly. I die cut the shadow layer from Vellum and then I cut the thanks from white cardstock, which I stacked up twice. So it was going to give it some dimension. And then the top layer is going to be from some champagne foil cardstock. I'm using my liquid glue to add to the back of that and then place that over the top of my white die cut pieces. And you can remove any of this dimension at any time. You do not have to stack your sentiments or add the thin foam squares to anything. But just sometimes, if you're really looking to make that special card, something that's just really going to stand out to somebody, it's these little touches really do make a difference. The other thing that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on, but I did want to show you here on screen is that I die cut those stems another time from white cardstock and I stacked those as well. That was really for stability, not necessarily for dimension because they are pretty thin. So I want to make sure that they're just substantial enough where I'm not going to risk tearing them or anything like that. I'm going to start working on the assembly of my card. So I have first my embossed background, then I have one of my windows set down. This is actually the smallest of the two windows. I am going to add this thin foam tape behind that window panel to pop it up. I have this larger foam tape from Altenew, and then I have a really skinny one. The large one I had to trim down with my scissors because I couldn't find my medium-sized one. Yes, I have lots of sizes of foam tape, but it is a very thin thickness. So I am stacking these two frames together. I am not adding this to the background yet. I'm really going to use this as a guide for my flowers. So I have my stems that I'm going to start adhering down first. I placed my flower up at the top there, the one that's going to go right in the center. And I have that just kind of placed there again as a guide on where to put my flower stems. That way I can adjust my flowers either higher or lower, just depending on where it's going to look inside of that frame. I wanted to leave a little bit of gap or a little bit of space between the window itself and the flower, but yeah, wanted to kind of fill up the frame a little bit too. Plus, we want our stems to kind of be underneath the foam tape that is on that window frame. So that's why I'm not adhering anything down quite yet. Also, keep in mind if your stems are too long or they're not quite working for the window area that you have, you can trim them at the top or the bottom. On this particular flower I'm working on, I actually had trimmed off the stem, I think at the bottom of it to shorten it. I wanted the leaves to show, but there was just a little bit too much stem there for me. So you can always give your stems a little bit of a haircut to make it work for you and the area that you have to work with. These flowers are also getting popped up with some thin foam squares. It's not going to add too much more dimension because my frame is popped up, but this is just going to give it a little bit of lift from the background. And I'm keeping the foam squares away from the area where the stem is going to be because I didn't want those to overlap. Now, once I have the flowers placed where I wanted them, everything is glued down, I can remove the backing of the foam tape on the back of my window and place that down. I'm adding a little bit of liquid glue to the front and the back end of the word thanks. That's going to be the only part that is overlapping the frame. So that fit across my card front perfectly. And I really didn't find where I had a saggy middle because it's secured both on the front and the back. And then I'm going to finish it off with these embellishments. I think this is the creamsicle mix. It seems like an overpowering color in the bag, but when you separate them out on their own, they're really not that overpowering of a color. And it worked perfectly with my color scheme that I had here. All of this may seem a little maybe overpowering or overwhelming as far as everything that I shared in the video for adding dimension. But when you put them all together, they create the most stunning card. You can definitely take one or just a couple of these tips and add them to your card fronts, and it's going to just step it up a little bit more. I hope you found this video helpful and you enjoy this card project as much as I do. Thank you all so much for spending time with me today. Again, all of these supplies are linked down below in the video description and over on my blog. Happy crafting!